Help apply the pressure out there.
This is probably one of the slowest paced games I've ever been involved in as a player, coach, or broadcaster, I got to say.
Oh, you would have loved last night.
Good thing I didn't have a pillow and blanket right now.
Maritirangi, a deep shot. And Ka'anga got it. He landed in bounds. The clock will continue to run. It was not a first down, and so they got to hurry. Down to 8 seconds. They spike it to kill the clock.
All kidding aside, I do love this type of football. I love defensive football. But the offenses, right now, neither of them getting it done.
Yeah.
And both coaches will say that. If you ask them at halftime, how do you think your offense has been doing? They both will say, wow, we got a lot of work to do.
Maritirangi 7-10, 102 yards here this evening. But a big chunk of that courtesy of Aiden Manutai.
And both coaches will say that.
Those 2 catches for 63 yards. A 54-yard catch and run.
They both will say that. You got a lot of work.
Might be the final play here of the half. Maritirangi just lets it fly. Crusaders are there. It's up, and this is intercepted by Jaron Altoro. And that's how the half comes to a close. One that saw St. Louis control the first 24 minutes of the game.
Maritirangi just lets it fly. Crusaders are there. It's up.
They held Kahuku to just 21 rush yards. And even though Kahuku has more total yards, the 2 turnovers Kahuku had, St. Louis made them pay. Kikaba, the only touchdown of the game, and a 2-score lead at the break. St. Louis on the road in the season opener. Leads by 13 here at OC 16 over the 3-time defending Division I Open State champs Kahuku. That's the score at the break. Felipe, Coach Jimmy in just a moment. All right, what do you make about what we see here the first 24 minutes?
Well, look, if you love defense, then this is it. I mean, both teams just fierce up front. I mean, look, if you came here to watch offense, there's not much of it. It's like driving to Kahuku to watch paint dry.
Yeah.
It's not going to be there.
Yeah.
But the defense, minus 2 yards rushing for St. Louis, only 21 yards rushing for Kahuku. That's surprising. Both defenses, I think, have been playing way better than we all thought they could.
Absolutely.
We knew coming in Kahuku was going to have a great defense. St. Louis has a great defense, and they took advantage of the turnovers, and that's why they're ahead.
And we knew some of the troubles that Kahuku was going to have entering the game with the injury to Mana Carvalho, a young offense, all these transfers, injuries as well racking up. But the miscues have really kind of hurt Kahuku, and what they're usually shorthanded. A couple of fumbles from a young running back core, mishandles off the snap. St. Louis getting fumble recoveries. They are showing a lot more effort here on the St. Louis defense and toughness so far through the first 2 quarters of play.
And the fumbles deep in their own territory, setting up St. Louis with a short field. Now, look, that 1 touchdown run, that was 11 yards. Credit that St. Louis offensive line. They did great, but that was their longest rush play of the game. But, hey, they made it count for 6 points.
There was some hope here for Kahuku after a 54-yard catch and run for Aiden Manutai to take it to 1st and goal in the 8. But the defense near the goal line was stellar here for St. Louis, which eliminated potentially the first touchdown of the game here for Big Red.
And the other thing we saw was lining up in an elephant package and getting stuffed for like a loss of 2 yards.
And then a personal foul call drove the ball back to the 18, and so a field goal attempt there for Kahalepuna ends up just a little short. And so the miscues combined with not being able to capitalize on those opportunities given to him has equated to a 13-0 hole here for the 3-time defending state champs. But Kahuku always finds a way to stay in it. St. Louis trying to slam the door here in Game 1 of 2024. Dive inside the digits, the halftime numbers. You see just 54 yards in total offense for St. Louis, a buck 23. But how about the average starting drive in the field position for each of these two?
Yeah, I mean, Kahuku, they have absolutely killed themselves with those 2 turnovers. I mean, look, you can't say what if that didn't happen, but in a world of what ifs, it could be 0-0. Those 2 turnovers, those fumbles happen inside their own territory, and the 8 penalties for 89 yards not helping them at all.
And again, some of you may think, well, St. Louis got a bunch of penalties too. Remember, a lot of those personal fouls were offset by the other team in penalties as well. So the emotions are running high. At some point, this has to settle down here, especially if Kahuku wants to come out of here and start off the season 1-0. This game from the get-go, we talked about the defense, right? Who would have thought that the kickers would have shined this evening? McKenna Kawhi and Marco Kane. This started the game. Kawhi, onside kick, they would recover it. Not able to get points out of it, though. And the coverages, and able to pinch in and eliminating the big returns here has been huge for this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just that. The field position, the great coverage and pinning. Kahuku, normally such a great and dynamic return team, not doing anything in the return game.
Marco Kane hit a field goal along with Kawhi. Got the scoring going to make it 6-0. Then the touchdown from Keikava. That's how they got to this 13-0 score. What will happen in quarter number 3? For all that, Jimmy Bender on the other side of this break. You knew it was going to be intense. Pupu Cepolona fired up. This could be something special. Right now, St. Louis has the lead.
13-0 at the half. St. Louis leading over the Kahuku Red Raiders, the defending 3-time state champions. And talking to Sterling Carvalho at the half, obviously, he said the penalties were a huge issue for him in this first half. They need to clean that up. But more importantly, it's that lack of an offense. The turnovers that he mentioned with that offense, but also just not being able to find a rhythm. He said that is going to be the biggest adjustment they need to make going into the second half. Get that offense going, get them some confidence, get some points on the board. As they're in the locker room, the Crusaders enjoying some watermelon snacks as they get ready for the second half. It's 13-0 St. Louis.
Shout out to Herc Rentals, a proud supporter of high school athletics as Hawaii's premier supplier of aerial lift equipment and forklifts. Herc Rentals will take your work to new heights. Nui atop the tower. Studying, are we? Hey, yeah. Algebra 1. I got it. Oh, very good.
I remember my teacher saying we're going to use algebra later in life. Boy, did they lie to us.
Wait a minute. Aren't you supposed to return those books at the end of the school year?
Yeah, really, for real.
0 points here in the first half at home here, Coach. It's the fewest points that Kahuku has scored at home against the Hawaii team since they scored only 3 against Mililani in September of 2018. Mililani ended up winning that game. It ended up being the win that ended the long home game winning streak, about 60-something games in a row here for Kahuku at the time, close to 60 of it. So, right, getting blanked right now on the scoreboard in the first half. Rare error here for a Kahuku team, but it's only 13 points. The defense has found ways here to get Kahuku relevant and back into this game, but they're going to need to make some plays. And honestly, the way this game is going, it almost feels like the defense needs to score in some way, at least 7, to even have a shot.
You know, that was a great and golden opportunity for Kahuku at the end of the half there when Manutai broke loose and then they were unable to punch it in, because if they had done that and it would be a 13-7 score, it would have been a totally different game. It would have changed the complexion of the game. But now it just seems the way Kahuku has been unable to get anything going offensively, that it's going to be a tall order. But, you know, let's talk about the St. Louis offense. They have been stymied and bottled up. I mean, for those who are watching the game and think, wow, 13-0, St. Louis is dominating the game. Yes, they are. In certain aspects, they're dominating in special teams. They're dominating in defense. But offensively, they still, I know the coaches are going to go back and say, look, we still have to find our identity. Are we a passing team? Are we a running team? What are we going to be? Because, minus 2 yards rushing at halftime, that's not going to get it done.
No, you're exactly right, Coach. And it's a unique situation, obviously, considering all the success that Kahuku had the previous 3 years, right? So win all those championships. And they had a couple of hiccups along the way, including losing the OI championship to Mililani last year. Ended up winning the state final. But there have been some comparisons of this 24 edition of the Kahuku team to Sterling's first year in 2018. He was still trying to find his footing, but eventually got his flowers. It was a long process, right? And he implemented pylon, he expanded the offense, and the guys to kind of do it. But
look, this defense is as advertised. Special teams, I'm sure Coach Carvalho would be the first to tell you he's probably disappointed they have been unable to make a splash play on special teams, whether it's a block punt, a big return. Credit St. Louis in that area. But again, unable to find that bell cow running back that can carry the load between the tackles. They have not found that yet.
What about the job Tom Kallmeyer has done with this defense here for St. Louis?
Oh, he's been amazing. He does a great job. There you got his notes tucked behind his pants.
Yeah, I'm sure someone's going to Someone's going to screenshot that and then flip the video upside down and read it.
There you go.
I'm sure. I'm sure that's going to happen. But Tom Kallmeyer, I mean, he just has a passion for coaching. Even talking to him during his days over at Waianae. Of course, Vince Nihipali now, the head coach. He got a pretty good team, by the way, Vince Nihipali does in
they're tough. They're
Division
physical.
1. And that offense, very, very solid, too. Can't wait to see what the Sea Riders do moving forward when they get league play started. St. Louis will get the ball to start this third quarter on a night where St. Louis has only had 2 penalties for 10 yards, and one of them was a delayed game. Kahuku trying to play physical. Got called for a number of personal fouls and unsportsmanlike conducts, which has been drive killers for them.
Do we see an onside kick here?
Kahalipuna, one of the kickers in that group, tried it last year. This year with Brody Pololo, we'll tee this one up. I think he'll kick it deep. Saitin Lasconia back deep to return this one here for St. Louis. A 13-0 game. Pololo gets underneath it, and Lasconia will get a chance from inside the 10. Not a lot of real estate out there. Gets to the sidelines. Taken out of bounds there by Digit Inessa. And St. Louis will have it just shy of the 30-yard line.
Both teams excellent coverage. Staying in their lanes, squaring up, running their feet, gang tackling, trying to scoop that ball out.
Lasconia, 2 catches, 24 yards, including a great catch and run to fight through 3 Kahuku defenders to extend the drive. Loeb 6 of 11, 56 yards. Lackett in the back. Lopes throws it out in the arms of Kingston Ciliato, who goes tumbling down right in front of Manoa Kahalipuna, the senior. Going to lose about 4 yards there. Second down.
Man, this Kahuku defense, they're so good on the perimeter. Their defensive backs are great open field tacklers. They take on blocks, shed blocks. They just do just a tremendous job. They're like sharks.
Lopes, who grew up in Hauula. An offer from Olivet Nazarene University in Illinois. Offensive line huge up front. They've been together for a while, too, since they were freshmen and sophomores. So that bond is there. You're with Hui Hui, along with Fui Fui and Kahaina Torres. Second and 13. Lopes up the middle. Got out of Myers. And then finally popped there by Manin Soliai. Alaanui Myers nearly got to the quarterback, Lopes. 13 in the red.
That was a miscue on the offensive line where the left B gap was left unattended.
Nihoa Pule, the defensive coordinator for Kahuku. I think the big question is, can we handle our assigned duties and challenge ourselves? Can we keep up the intensity? It is shown in spurts. St. Louis has found ways to find the soft spots of that defense. Not with the flashy yards, but the effective yards moving the chains. Here comes 3rd and a dozen. Lopes throws it, incomplete. Lasconia was running up that sideline. That throw was short of him. Lasconia went tumbling down to the ground. St. Louis opens the second half with 3 and out. Lasconia might be hurt a little bit. He was kind of limping as he was running up the sideline.
Yeah, that Kahuku pass rush. 7 tackles for loss and a sack since halftime. But they are starting to bring the pressure.
So Lopes will punt this one away. Nearly gets to him. Flag down. Malaki Soliai Tui went after him. We'll see if it's running or roughing. If it's roughing, it's an automatic first down.
Yeah, that's got to be roughing.
Early indicators usually if you hit the plant leg.
Yeah, he was not pushed into the punter. He just came headlong in.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker on a kick receiving team. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
As penalties like that, which has hurt Kahuku here tonight, they went for broke on the full-on run out with Soliai Tui. Another personal foul penalty. Remember, those personal foul penalties and those unsportsmanlikes usually result in up downs, one for every penalty yard, usually the next day at practice. What's interesting is that, Monday they leave for Bishop Gorman, so we'll see if they have to make that up at some point. Lackett, the running back. Here's Lackett. Lackett. Oh, Lackett to the secondary. Ripped down from behind by Taimur Pule. To the 36-yard line, gain of 24.
If I'm not mistaken, that's only his 3rd touch of the game. You got to get this guy the ball, even if it's as a runner. He is so dynamic.
Just his 4th rush in 2 years as well. Biggest play of the game here for St. Louis.
1st and 10 for St. Louis. Ball on the Kahuku 36-yard line.
Makes it first down at the 36. Lackett again. Gains a yard. There's one thing that Lackett doesn't lack, and that's effort. The son of the great Frank Lackett was a head coach, longtime head coach of the intermediate program, now an assistant coach of the varsity program. Grandfather was a Farrington grad, but he got an honorary St. Louis diploma. And he has just carried himself. It's what a lot of St. Louis parents would want in a St. Louis kid. Just humble, hardworking,
great kid,
headstrong.
That's such a rugged name. Look at him. Look at him.
I don't know, Titan's pretty rugged too.
Oh yeah.
Lopes right to Lackett, but this is batted up in the air, and it is incomplete. Falea Tawaya thought he pulled it in. Oh, Falea Tawaya went diving after it.
I mean, Faleatuaia, not only is a great athlete, but look how intelligent he is. And almost came up with it.
That was really, you got to take it frame by frame. Can we go slower here, guys, for a second? Up
What
there.
a football IQ
What is the ball at the ground? Yeah, that ball looked like it hit the ground, the nose of it. Oh, I mean, that's
close.
Third down. And delay game.
Delay a game. Offense number 12. 5-yard penalty, third down.
It's the third penalty here on St. Louis tonight.
You know, one thing I marvel about with the referees is that the white hat, that his hat every game is so white. So, I mean, does he have like a closet full of brand new white hats?
No, typically, right, I mean, you'll get like 4 hats because you want to, rotate them out. Up the sideline, incomplete. Big push there on Collins. It's incomplete. Collins, who's into the game for the first time tonight in the offensive sets, was running up that sideline. He's one of 32 juniors on the team, and Madden Soliai almost pushed him right back to campus. Went flying, did Collins.
Soliai is so physical. Yeah, he's the real deal. But getting back to those white hats,
please.
You gotta have more than 4. Come on.
Yeah.
They look so pristine every game.
And there's a special hat cap protector that certain officials use. Always gotta look professional though. Lopes a quick kick, but it goes up in the air and deflected. It's Maximum Fonormo wanted to pull it in. It was tipped up in the air off of one of the guys in front of the trenches, off the back. And Kahuku will get it at the 34-yard line.
Kahuku, just their own worst enemy, right? I mean, that crucial penalty, roughing the kicker, just took so much time off the clock. Faleatuaia, again, this guy has tackles for loss, passes broken up. He has tipped balls. The guy is incredible.
3 tackles, 2 of them for loss, and a pass breakup. 8:54 here to go in the third. Blake Allo the back here for Kahuku. First drive of the third quarter. A keep here from Maniterangi. Gets folded up. Jaron Altura comes after him.
Altura has played well. Not only did we see his speed on display with that touchdown-saving tackle on Manutai, we saw the interception, and now the physical tackle here. Just all-around player.
And we got an injured player. It'll be Tavita Vilmure. Down on the ground here for Kahuku. Just precautionary to make sure the potential injury isn't anything serious, and so he pops right back up. Kahuku coming up. We mentioned they'll go to Bishop Gorman, and then when they come back the following Saturday, the 24th, in a game that we'll have for you on XCast, it'll be Konawaina taking on a big challenge here, taking on Kahuku. They'll come to the North Shore. And then Waimea going to take on Big Red. So, Sterling Carvalho, the head coach of Kahuku, praising, Brad Uemoto, Kylie Linoz, for just wanting to fill out their schedule. And, of course, Sterling has ties to the Garden Island after graduating from Kauai in 1993. Maniterangi fires it over the middle. This one caught. Pulled in by Noah Ayu, the younger brother of Leonard and Mickey. Takes it for a first down. The 48 gain to 13.
Hey, what I love about Kahuku is that, look, they're not running the ball. They haven't been able to do it with regularity. And so, you know, you got to produce somehow. And the short passing game now, that has produced. You know, the open division, very difficult to find games. In fact, Kapolei, for example, we're traveling twice to the neighbor islands just to fill out our schedule. We would have 5 buys.
Yeah. Which means we'll see you for those 5 weeks, likely, right?
Yeah.
By the way, Kapa'a losing to Farrington XCast right now, 28-6. Oh, juggled by Kanoa. Able to squeeze it in. Kanoa gets hung on to. One Crusaders helmet popped off in the process. It was Malaki.
Carrying the ball for the Red Raiders, number 25,
Shaden Kanoa was one of the more experienced receivers in this group. Got good hands, and they've tried to use him on the ground game.
Number 50, helmet of St. Louis came off by rule. He needs to sit out and play.
And, you know, you got to credit the officials here because they have done a good job in kind of tamping down the chippiness that we saw in the first half.
Maite Langi tries to feed it up the sideline. Roy Ma'afala Jr. was guarding Halahuni Langi, part of that JV championship team a year ago here for Kahuku. So Troy Materangi stands 6 feet and 190 pounds. Of course, his father, Alvin Materangi, a great educator on campus. He's also an assistant coach. Troy named after Ohio State quarterback Troy Smith after the family was watching a game on TV. And they heard the announcer say, oh, here comes Troy Smith. And they thought, oh, you know, Troy, sounds pretty good. I think we'll keep that. That's how it's stuck here for this kid. He's been around this program as a ball boy first during his middle school years. 3rd and 6. Materangi slings it. It is caught for a first down to Kale Lerner. To the 47.
It's good for a Kahuku first down, 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders on their own 37-yard line.
So Kahuku, run game ineffective, long pass, not able to connect. They are making it work with a shorter and mid-range passing attack here.
1st and 10, Materangi off the hands of Lerner. Incomplete. Lerner, as we mentioned, one of those 9 JV call-ups. This game will not count towards their league standings or really even their league playoff implications. This is just really a measuring stick to see where these two programs sit after only 4 or 5, maybe even more months after that of training and preparation for this season. Materangi got rid of it, caught by Ayu. From behind, there goes Alualu. Try and get it out, along with Zandon Willis, just shy the 30-yard line. Gain of about 6.
You know, they say necessity is the mother of invention. And here, Kahuku showing a nice job here with their intermediate passing game, you know, matriculating the ball down the field here. Unable to run, they are using that big O-line to pass protect, getting the ball out quick to their intermediate receivers.
And you're right about that, just trying to work the short routes. Materangi got it out here for Alorosa. Well, incomplete. Zandon Alorosa couldn't squeeze that one in, and it'll bring up 4th down.
He was wide open, and that's the cardinal sin of the wide open running back or receiver is trying to run before you secure the football.
You see Monica Carvalho in the background with the hoodie on, the Utah commit. Tibia injury